Welcome to week 7 of distance learning. You are officially 1 week away from the AP exam. The AP exam is next Monday, May 11th at 4 p.m. So this week's video is not going to be a lesson, but just a rundown of your assignments for the week, as well as some final tips to prepare you for the test. First off, let me say, overall, I was really pleased with last week's FRQs. I'm proud of the progress you all have made on those. So this week, I'm not going to assign any practice FRQs because I believe I've given you all the practice I can. So for this week, you have 3 ed puzzles to complete. One is a quick review over Unit 2, then there's one that reviews over Unit 3, and the last ed puzzle goes over the procedures and the format for setting up and getting ready to take the AP exam itself. And lastly, I have 2 GIM kits for you to play this week like we did last week. These ones are over Units 1 through 3. I will also leave an open post on Google Classroom for you to ask any questions about the exam or questions over any content you may still be struggling on and would like me to go over. Now, if you'd like to talk to me one-on-one via Google Meet, feel free to email me or comment on Classroom and we can set up a time to talk one-on-one. Now, next week on exam day, on Monday, May 11th at 1 p.m., I plan on holding an open Google Meet where any of you that want to can hop on and ask any last-minute questions you may have for the exam. Now, 2 days before the exam, which for us is going to be Saturday, May 9th, you're going to receive your e-ticket and an email from the AP program. Now, it's a unique e-ticket to you. If you don't get an email with it, log on to your student account on My AP and you can find your e-ticket there. Don't share that code with anyone. Now, you can take this exam on a computer, a tablet, or a phone. 30 minutes before the AP exam, so at 3:30 p.m. on Monday, May 11th, you need to log on using your device and enter your code that's on the e-ticket, which will also have the link that will take you there. The email you get Saturday will explain how this works. Now, once the timer expires at 4 p.m., it's go time. Question 1 will pop up in your web browser. You'll have 25 minutes to read and answer that question, and then 5 minutes to submit it. You'll then have 15 minutes to do the same for question 2 and then 5 minutes to submit question 2. You can answer each of these questions in one of 3 ways. The first way, which is the way I would recommend, is where you can copy and paste a typed response from a Word document or a Google Doc into the text box provided to you. Just make sure you have your e-ticket AP code and your initials at the top of that document. Now, if you would like to instead, you can save, download, and then upload your response to their website as a Word doc or PDF, for example. Just make sure, again, you have your AP code and your initials at the top of that document. Now, for both of those options, it'd be a really good idea to have your Google Doc or your Word document ready to go and ready to type a response in as soon as the question pops up. So this may be something you want to do before the exam. You can also handwrite your response on paper and take a picture of it and upload it to the website. Make sure your response is clearly visible and readable. Again, make sure that you have your AP code and your initials at the top of that document. Now, in my opinion, this is the riskiest of the 3 options because you're relying on someone else to be able to read and see your response in your handwriting. As for what to expect question-wise, well, just remember, if a question seems more difficult to you than expected, don't worry. Difficult questions require fewer points to earn 3s, 4s, and 5s. So try your best to get all parts of the question answered that you can, but it's still better to submit partial work than none at all. You'll still get scored on what you do have. Remember also, there's no cap or quota or curve on how many students can earn 3s, 4s, and 5s. So ultimately, there are 5 steps you need to do before exam day next week. Number 1, review your contact information. Make sure you're getting emails from the AP program. If you're not, sign into My AP and confirm your email address by following the directions that I have here. You can always pause this video at this point to do that. The second thing you need to do is check your tech. Decide whether you're going to use Google Docs, Microsoft Word, Notes, or something else. Now, I'd make sure whatever you use has an autosave feature so you don't accidentally delete all of your work. If you're using something like Google Docs and you want to attach your document instead of copying and pasting it, remember, you'll need to download it into one of the approved formats, though PDF is probably the easiest. Before the test begins, go ahead and type your AP ID and initials at the top of the doc and save it so it's going to be easy for you to find. If you're going to upload the documents themselves, you'll need 2 documents and be sure to name them clearly when you save them. For example, you might name it AP Gov Question 1.pdf and then AP Gov Question 2.pdf. If you're handwriting, make sure you use white paper and a number 2 pencil or a blue or black pen. Be sure to label your paper again with your AP ID and initials. Thirdly, practice submitting your response. On May 4th, you'll get an email where you can access the AP 2020 exam demo, or you can go to it by going to cb.org/AP demo. You can practice submitting different responses, get a feel for what you like. If you can't connect to the demo from your device, you need to change something up because that means you won't be able to access the actual test from that device. So I highly recommend all of you do this to get a feel for what it's going to be like on exam day. Then you want to make sure you're ready to go for exam day. Make sure you have your exam e-ticket email with your AP ID. Make sure you have a device ready to go that's been tested out. Make sure you have a browser. They recommend Chrome, but most browsers will work, though I don't know if I recommend Internet Explorer. Make sure you have an internet connection. Make sure whatever you're writing your response on is ready to go. And I highly recommend having your class notes, your outlines, previous assignments, and your textbook ready and handy to reference. Then you just need to wait to make sure you've received your exam confirmation on May 4th with access to the demo to practice. And then on Saturday the 9th, you should receive your email with your e-ticket. Now on exam day, make sure you're in a quiet environment, away from distractions. If your family is bothering you, tell them to knock it off or Mr. Lucas will find them and I will force them to write an AP-style apology essay. After all, you've worked so hard for this. Don't let anyone or anything get in your way from doing your absolute best. But sometimes there are things that happen that are just out of our control. If anything goes wrong during the test, like your internet goes out or your device crashes, click your e-ticket again to return to the exam and continue it. If you feel you were severely disrupted, you can always request a makeup exam. By the way, they said don't refresh your browser or hit the back arrow once the test is open. So make sure you follow the instructions that you get in the email. I'll also post a link in Google Classroom to an instruction guide on everything you need to know for the AP exam. If you need to rewatch this video and pause at different sections to kind of go over a set of instructions I gave, feel free to do that as well. Just remember to have patience. This is new for everyone. Everyone's trying to get this up and running. I'm sure there's going to be some hiccups, maybe some points of confusion. Just try to be patient with people. I certainly do appreciate the work that you all have put in considering all the circumstances that we've had to go through. I'm confident y'all will do great on the exam. Study hard this week. You can do this. As always, let me know if you need anything. Drop a comment in Google Classroom or shoot me an email. It's AP season. Let's go.